Well, I mean, and governments are looking to see that they're doing something, and this was something that costs them nothing.
What's really egregious to me was Courtney Tremp was the little girl who was killed by a bull mastiff. The dog had repeated offenses, and nothing was enforced. He wasn't enforced to wear a muzzle. There was just, slap on the wrist after slap on the wrist. Her 10-year-old daughter was killed. She spoke out against the breed-specific legislation because she said it wouldn't have helped my daughter. We had a dog that we knew was dangerous and nothing was done. And it didn't even belong to that breed.
In 2001, the story of a woman from San Francisco who was killed by 2 dangerous dogs was the hot topic in the media all over North America. Her death led to a legislation that was specifically about pit bulls, even though she was killed by 2 Presa Canarios.
Well, if a dog bites a human being once, I think once is enough. And you have to make sure that dog doesn't do it again, no matter what you have to do.
Can you think of any positive effects that breed-specific legislation could bring about?
No. I'm trying, I'm genuinely trying to see the other side of the situation. But I honestly don't see it. It's like the handgun ban. They banned handguns in Canada. But do you honestly think the criminal element has gone, oh no, they banned handguns. How am I going to rob the store now? I mean, it's absurd.
The American Temperament Testing Society, which is a non-for-profit U.S. organization, tests dogs' temperaments against a series of everyday things that they might come across in daily life. Out of 195 breeds, the 3 pit bull breeds scored about 80%. This places them higher than golden retrievers, cocker spaniels, and even chihuahuas.
There is no such thing as behavior that cannot be modified. Provided the dog is healthy and doesn't have a physical ailment, you can create the circumstances to change behavior.
My last rescue was a girl named Goldie. She was rescued from the fights. She was fantastic. She was absolutely stellar in temperament. She was a wonderful, wonderful dog. I would trust her with my kids any day. She was fantastic. They used to dress her up, put hats on her.
Like, if you're not going to be able to see the animal and take care of it and socialize it, you're potentially making it more dangerous. If you're just going to tie it up in your backyard, then what's the point of having a dog?
Calgary has absolutely model dog legislation.
They have decreased bites by, I believe it's 32 or 36%. It's a crazy amount of how they're shrinking this, even though there's more people and more dogs than ever before.
Problem is that the municipality has to actually want to do something about it because the startup cost is big. Once you get it going, it pays for itself. But they have to be willing to put the money out in the first place.
Personally, I think that we as pet owners should have to have licenses. And you should have a history check done on whether you've been abusive to animals before, anything, whether you've been arrested, in jail, drug abuse, whatever. How responsible you are as a person. I don't think it's any different than having a child.
You have to stay focused on facts, statistics. You can't make it about emotion, because if it's about emotion, you're going to lose every time. Because how can you argue with a woman who has lost her child, or with someone who's been permanently disfigured because of a dog attack? You can't. So instead what you need to do is say, we can make sure that this isn't going to happen to any other family, because we're going to target the dogs that do this and not target the breed of dog that did this to you.
My whole belief in dog system is they're pack animals, and I believe that in nature they live by a pack. There's a leader of the pack, and that leader disciplines the rest of the pack and fundamentally controls their behavior.
I mean, they're born and someone adopts them or decides to buy a dog, and that person is responsible for the dog's behavior. And if they can't control the dog, then they probably shouldn't own a dog.
I'm frightened to think about what we might have moving forward. not only for pit bulls, but for large dogs in general. So long as lawmakers are focused on the quick solution, the black and white solution of choosing a breed, rather than the instance-specific solution of focusing on behavior and focusing on ownership, dog ownership in Ontario is going to go downhill. We're going to see dog behavior go downhill. We're going to see responsible owners punished for doing nothing wrong. We're going to see irresponsible owners just bounce from breed to breed to breed, and it's going to be scary and far worse for public safety and for responsible dog owners.
You know, all dog owners have to stand up as a class of people and people with a common interest, and see, you know, beyond. They have to look beyond the fact that they have different types of dogs and look at their common interests.
That's my feeling, that they'll still be around. If she goes, I would like to get another pit bull, but who knows if there will be around. I still think that they will be, but there won't be as many.